2019 was a shock year for anyone working in newspapers. The crisis was a long time coming. Sales and readership figures of printed papers have been in steady decline since 2007. And 2019 was the year of mass redundancies in Ireland's newsrooms. We asked Campbell Spray, motoring editor and former executive editor of the Sunday Independent, to give us the inside story.
I still love papers. I love the feel of them, the passion that you've got them. I remember years ago when 6:30 on a Saturday night, when the presses started to roll. You've been working on this publication all week, and then suddenly this tremor would go through the building, and the presses at the very back used to start going, and then gradually just working their way up, boom, 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 and then throwing out paper after paper, which you had been working on all week, and it was just such a thrill.
What was it like to endure 2019, which was a very shock year for the newspaper business?
It was a very difficult time. There were so many really good people lost their job up and down the country. Already we'd been taking cuts a couple of years before that, and it's been going on. And this has had a major effect on newspapers. One of the major effects is that you play it safe, because you haven't got the staff to actually start rewriting stuff, going back to people, checking out the legals more, that you say, if something's difficult, leave it out, which is a big problem for the general public getting their news and for papers themselves.
However, newspapers remain an essential part of our daily life. This Irish Times owned printing plant at City West Dublin prints up to 65,000 newspapers an hour. Its circulation director, Fran Walsh, told us the newspaper business is still highly profitable.
Newspapers traditionally is what's known as a two-sided business model. We have people who purchase the paper because they want to read the content, and you have advertisers who want to put their ads in front of those readers. Over time, that's become a challenge because obviously there's been a decrease in advertising revenue, so you can see that. There's also a decrease in newspaper sales, and that's mainly driven by digital. About 12 years ago, a couple of things happened. The recession happened, and also the fact that we realised that people had reduced their consumption of papers, so even the people that would buy 6 days a week were now buying 3 and 4 days a week. But also the fact is, due to the recession, a lot of people stopped going into retail. So those two combinations started to have an effect on newspapers. And overall then, digital was still starting to really gather legs at that stage in terms of the consumption habits for consumers. The Irish Times took the decision to launch a home delivery business. So in the last 10 years, the Irish Times now have a direct relationship with over 20,000 subscribers of the print product. That has really helped us put a floor under the decline in circulation. In conjunction with that, and this is where people often think our newspapers eating their own lunch a little bit, in that we've also actively encouraged people to move to digital. But we've moved to digital on a pay model, so at least we're getting subscription revenue from those customers. And people think print is dead. I mean, I don't have the exact number, but it's in around 500,000 newspapers a day are sold. I mean, if you launched any product today into the market and went and said, we can sell 500,000 of this product on a daily basis, it would be a phenomenal business. The problem is we're coming from the heights of, when we were selling 1 million, and that's probably halved in the last number of years. So that's really...
Though sales are still high, 2019 started with independent news and media seeking 35 redundancies, and other outlets followed suit. Despite this, both Fran Walsh and Campbell Spray believe that there is still life in newspapers.
There is definitely a life still in newspapers, there's no doubt about it, for a period of time. But lifestyle changes, you can see where less and less people are buying newspapers during the week. More and more people are moving towards a weekend-only product. And what we introduced in terms of the Irish Times was, we said, let's get a combination of both. So the most successful product that we sell in the Irish Times to subscribers is what's known as the weekend bundle. So it's a weekend newspaper delivered to your house, plus full access to our digital all week. And that retails at about €20 a month.
I think certain newspapers will always be important in their printed form. I think there'll be less papers, they'll be smaller, but they will probably be more specialised, because you see papers like the Financial Times, The Economist, doing really well on subscription basis because they're giving people what they want. The Sunday Independent, when I was there, originally there, we had 32 pages first there. Now it has at least 32 pages in the news section. It has a living section of 64 pages, has a sports section of 16 pages, has a business page. Maybe that is not sustainable for papers, and maybe you have more of an emphasis at the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday may go. But I think at the weekend there's a great future for papers.